Hi, it's Deborah Dede Anderson here again with another Bear Courage Project interview. And today we're honored to have Arielle Carr with us.
Yep.
She's our youngest interviewee, and she's here to share her story and tell us about her journey. So welcome, Arielle. It is
Thank
so
you.
nice to meet you.
You as well.
How young are you?
I am 19 years old
19.
and I'll be 20 in a week.
All right, so
Yep.
you have a birthday coming up. That's
I sure
great.
do. Yep.
That's great. So, to get started, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so my name is Arielle Carr. It's spelled out Arielle, and then my last name is Carr.
Mm-hmm.
I'm from PG County, Maryland, born and raised there.
Okay.
Just with my birthday coming up, I'm just ready to step into this new chapter of my life, continue figuring out who I am as a person, and I'm ready to tell my story that I've never talked about before. So
I understand, and that's why we wanted to have you here, so you have that chance to release that and share what your experience was like.
Yep.
So tell me, when was the first time that you started to have any sort of thought or concern about your scalp or your hair?
I first had concerns about my hair when I was 14.
Mm.
At the time, I had two little plaits at the front of my head. So my grandmother would always cornrow my hair every weekend, and we would try different treatments, try different masks, and we saw growth. But then around that time frame, it was like I was experiencing hair loss again.
Mm.
I had like a patch right here,
Yeah.
and the hair just would not grow back. And I was getting a little tired of, steady trying to hold on and make it work. I would try to slick it down with gel. My grandmother would try to connect it to any piece that was there on my scalp that she could, and it just would not work.
Mm.
So it took about a year. Like, it was 14 when I noticed those concerns, and then it took a year up until I was 15 to decide to fully go bald and
Really?
just cut all my hair off.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did you find that to be a big deal for you? I mean, 15, that's very young.
It was, because from when I was diagnosed with alopecia up until I was 14, I had those splotches of hair in my head that my grandmother could cornrow.
Mm-hmm.
So when it was brought up to me, you can go bald, it kind of was nerve-wracking because all I had known was the little bit of hair I had. So I felt like I was losing a part of me in a way.
Right.
Because even though I really didn't have a lot of hair, it still was something.
Right.
Yeah.
Something that you could say was yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because we think of our hair as our crown,
That's very true.
And it's so hard when you see that you may have to let go of that crown, and then what direction to take,
Yep.
So, being 14 and noticing it, how was it for you, at school, with friends, with family? Were they supportive?
My family has always been there supporting me since I was young. They're always rooting for me. I've been in anything you can think of. I've been in dance. I've done Zumba with my mom.
Mm.
I've been to cheer practices. I've done gymnastics. I've always been involved in an organization, and nobody has ever treated me differently.
That's great.
So just being involved in stuff always, kept me around people, and I was uplifted. I wasn't just in the house or just, going to school and coming back home. I was in a community of people.
Mm.
So I've always had them there, and being involved in stuff really helped me. Nobody, most of my classmates and stuff, always accepted me for who I was. I did experience a lot of bullying in elementary school though.
Mm.
But my mom, in the beginning of the school year, she would send out letters to the teachers and principals just to let them know in advance that, I had a condition and to not be alarmed. So she was always in the background, making sure I was good, and she helped me out. So that also played a big part in, me just being able to be free and be me.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Especially at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
So she was, just always encouraging me to be myself and to, just not worry about other people or what their opinions or thoughts were of me.
That's amazing, really, because when you have that type of support,
Mm-hmm.
it helps your self-esteem. Because that's one of the things that when you start losing your hair, you can sometimes lose as well, So that's wonderful. And the fact that she actually did letters ahead of time,
Mm-hmm.
preparing, that's a beautiful thing.
I know,
really.
I wasn't really told when I was younger, but as you get of age and you start understanding things around 11, 12, and she told me, I was like, oh wow, okay. Thank you, Mom.
Yeah, really. That's great, really great.
I did not, yeah. after.
So you decided that at 15 you were just gonna go bald.
Yeah, and it was a year of contemplation. It was like, it was an idea to go bald. It's like, but am I really gonna go bald? But then it's like, I'm also coming of age of about to, in a few years I'll be an adult. So are these 2 little cornrows and my 4 little cornrows in the back of my head gonna be what I have my whole life? Or am I gonna try to find a different look for, who I'm becoming? And at the time I have, she's my mentor now, but her name is Miss Tony. She's also bald and has alopecia. So my mom had hit her up. She was like, hey, like Aries, trying to go bald or cut her hair off. She was like, okay, I'm there. Let me know what day. So we were at my grandmother's house. She pulled up. She was like, okay, here's the razor. We got the shaving cream. She helped me cut off the hair I had, or like, get it short. Then she helped me shave it. And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna let you do the rest on your own. And I was like, what? I gotta shave my own hair?
You're right.
So I went to the bathroom, I'm in the mirror, and I'm sitting there shaving my own hair. And it's like, what am I doing? Like,
Surreal.
It was the most freeing yet sad experience ever, because I didn't have any hair, but I'm still cutting off what I did have.
Right.
So it was truly it was a day, it was an experience. And it took me a while after I cut all of it off to get adjusted to how I looked. Cause I still had, like when you have hair and you kind of shave it, it's like still like those dark splotches from the hair.
Yes.
So it was that there. I don't know, I hadn't really like searched up like what bald people had looked like. It was just like, I was kind of sitting with myself, and I don't know, it was a weird experience, but it didn't take too long for me to get adjusted to it, because I still had my family there supporting me and helping me.
Right.
So they were able to help me see this new side of me and, stay confident, how I already am. Like, it's still me, just entering a different look, just, transforming.
Well, I have to say, very mature.
Thank
for
you.
a 15-year-old to have that type of positivity and way of looking at it. Like making that decision on its own and then having to do it yourself. That's a big step. That was really a big step.
It is.
So once you finished shaving and you saw yourself for the first time, what did you feel?
I honestly don't know. Like, after I had cut my hair off, we had a whole photo shoot. They're like, go outside, stand on the porch, we're gonna take some photos of you. Like, you just did this is a whole new process. I was like, okay, let's go take some photos. And in the photos, my face was not happy at all. It was like, I was smiling, but it's like, you're still adjusting to it.
Right.
So, I don't know. But I also had, my friends at the time, nobody really judged me for my hair. Like, most of my classmates and people around me accepted me. So I wasn't even worried about them. It was just me with myself. It was just a whole new look that I wasn't, not ready to accept, but I don't know.
You weren't used to yet. It was a whole new thing, a new way of seeing you. And I found that when I did it, I felt I actually saw me. When you have hair, it's half of your look. But when there's nothing there, and it's just you, you finally really see you. So that next day, when you went into the mirror, do you remember what it felt like then?
I don't think I went into or I may have looked in the mirror.
Or went past the mirror?
I may have looked at, it may have took me a good week, because I think maybe within the next 2 weeks or even a month, I have a business called Aries Beauty Shack. So it's ARIES and then Beauty Shack. So with my business, I was doing vendor events at the time.
Okay.
So I was still going out and being around people. And it was like, just being around people, it was my first shaved head, immediately compliments everywhere, from older people, kids my age. It was just like, it was a whole new wave of compliments that I never received when I had a little bit of hair. So I was like, oh, what's going on? Like,
that's
okay.
Great. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And
it was so shocking.
I can imagine. Believe me, I can imagine. And you mentioned a word that has been said by many who finally decide to go bald, and that word was free. So is that something that you really feel in your spirit, you know, like you're free?
Yeah, in the moment of me cutting my hair, it was a process to get used to, the new look I had.
Yeah.
But now, it's like I'm comfortable with myself. Like,
right.
I feel liberated. I'm able to hop in the shower just like, whoo. I'm still able to do the same maintenance everybody else does. I'm still having to put sunscreen on my head to protect my scalp from the sun.
Right.
Still shaving my head as if you were going to go get your hair done. I'm still maintaining it. Because I have alopecia areata. So I have like, you know, patches in my head. And when my hair does grow back, it's like fuzzy. So like the top of my head has scarring and on the side. So it's like hair just grows right here, like my edges. And then in the back of my head. But it's all like fuzzy.
Yeah.
So I'm still having to shave that to get my smooth head, oil it up. Like, I'm still doing the same things anybody with hair would do. Just maintenance on your head.
But it's so different.
It is.
It really is. There's nothing like not having to worry about the weather, rain, the wind.
Yes, and you feel all of that.
Yes,
like,
you do.
There isn't, like, when you have a hat on, of course your head's warm, but like when it's cold outside and I have my hat off, I feel and it's like cool air.
Well, what about the first time you were in a car and rolled the window down and felt the wind on your scalp?
I don't remember that exact moment, but today the weather was perfect, so I did have the window down. I just closed my eyes, soaked in the sun. Like, I don't know, it really is very liberating being able to feel all the seasons and everything on your scalp.
Yes,
it is.
Yes,
and it's different from the rest of your body.
Yes, I
like
know.
Even your face, it's connected to your scalp, and the air you feel in your head is just different.
Yes, absolutely different. That is so true. So now that you've donned your baldness so well, I mean, really, you are beautiful, really. You were talking about the things that you're into now. So you're doing some modeling.
Yep.
And some of the pictures that you showed us were just amazing.
Thank you.
You have to see. We will show you some of these pictures. But what else is it that you do? Like the business that you were talking about.
Yep. So I just started modeling last February.
Okay.
So it made a year this February. I own my business. I started that when I was 15, right before I had cut all my hair off.
Okay.
So at the time, my county, they had a summer youth enrichment program where they allowed kids to work during the summer. So I was in a hospitality and culinary workshop, and there they talked about entrepreneurship. So that really sparked something in me. It was like, okay, I'm gonna start a business. What am I gonna start it about? Let's go back and reflect on what I'm already doing. At the time, I was obsessed with lip gloss. You weren't gonna catch me not putting on lip gloss. I probably applied it about 10 times a day, maybe more.
Okay.
My lips were glossy.
Okay.
So it was like, okay, I'm gonna start a cosmetics business. Went on YouTube, did my research, had my mom order supplies, and I was in there whipping it up. Like, I felt like a scientist. Like, it's a process. I was in there just mixing stuff up. Then I started selling it to my classmates, to my coworkers. Like that's how my business began. Just talking about entrepreneurship, and then and then when I cut my hair off, it really added more to me. Like I was still able to make myself up and still feel like myself from things that I was already doing with a little bit of hair that I had.
Right.
So I was still able to be me, and my business really helped with that.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you're still doing that now too?
I took a break. I'm trying to get back into it. My 6-year anniversary is July 2nd.
Wow.
So I'm trying to work on products to, bring back up for my anniversary date.
Yeah.
But overall with my business, I sell lip gloss and lip care, like lip scrubs, lip balms, lip oils, whole lip care setup.
Just let me know when you start again, okay?
I will. And then for my accessories, I do like affirmation journals and mugs, and I have keychains and cosmetic bags, the whole spiel of self-care and just uplifting yourself.
Very nice.
Yes. And then all of my products are handmade. My lip products, I handmade them. So
that's great.
Yeah, starting that, like my business is really my baby. Like I started it as a teenager, like a 15-year-old teenager, and now I'm about to be 20. Like that's really my baby.
That's really awesome, really.
Yeah.
And April 28th, that's your birthday, right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes us both Tauruses.
Oh, serious.
So that explains a lot right there. Okay.
Yeah. When's your birthday?
May 10th.
Ooh, yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So what would you say to other young girls? You were 14 when you first noticed, and girls who are in their teens, preteens, what would you say to them to help inspire them?
I would tell them to embrace the skin that they're currently in, to surround themselves with a support system, because that's how I'm able to be so confident with how I am, is because of my support system. And even if you don't have one, there's plenty of groups out there to join. Women are willing to uplift other women. It may not seem like it, but when you search out there, people are willing to help uplift others. So going and finding those groups to uplift you plays a big part as well. Sitting with yourself. Like with me, when I first cut my hair, it was like, okay, how am I gonna get used to this? But the more you really look in the mirror and sit with yourself, you get more comfortable with yourself. And then it's like, okay, this is me. Nothing anybody says or does is gonna change that. And at the end of the day, I'm gonna be the one who has to go back home and look at myself in the mirror.
Right.
So the more you do that and block out the noise from other people, it's like, okay, I'm that girl.
Yes.
Like, nothing can tear me down.
That's great. And would you say, after a little while, that you didn't seem to notice it anymore? Like when you go through your day, are you aware that you're bald, or not until someone actually says something?
I mean, yeah, like I've always taken videos, do the thing girls do, you take your videos and, post yourself or whatever. But I feel like once I went bald, I took more photos, more videos. Like I really embraced it. Like, cause it's a look that not a lot of people have.
Right.
So it's a different kind of admiration of yourself.
That's
I really don't know how to explain it. It's just, I don't know, it's different. Yeah.
It is different.
It is.
And it makes us even more unique. So when you can look at it the way you did and be able to embrace it, that is, you've gone a whole leap compared to what you went through before.
Yeah.
Because it can be, stressful. It can tear down self-esteem. It can do all of those things, but in the long run, it's just hair, right?
Yeah, hair literally does not define you.
It does not define.
Because you can change up your hairstyle, but at the end of the day, you're still you. You still have the same face, same body, like it's you.
Exactly right.
It just changes how you look.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the crown is what we wear. The hair is just a halo. And I think, yes, and I think once you reach that point, there's no stopping you. There's just this freeness and ability to feel like you're in your own skin that just uplifts you, like you said. It makes you feel stronger and more confident.
Yep.
So, and it definitely shows with you.
Thank you.
I just want to say thank you. For
Thank you.
taking the time to want to share this information with other young girls so that they can see that there really isn't anything to be fearful of, though it does take a little bit of strength and courage, bare courage, to go ahead and do that. But once it's done, it's like this albatross, this heavy weight has just been lifted from you. And you just become lifted.
You do.
You really do.
It definitely is a process, because I've had alopecia since I was 2.5.
Really?
Yes. So my mom was the main one dealing with it. I per se wasn't dealing with it, but it was her dealing with it until I came of age and started experiencing the bullying, because I've always been accepted for how I was.
Right.
So she was dealing with the beginning of it, of like, Ari, did you cut your hair? And I'm 2, and I'm like, what? And it's like, okay, let's figure out what's going on. You go to the doctors, and it's like, oh, she has alopecia areata. And like, I think I was 3 when we went to Georgetown Hospital, and it was a group of intern doctors who had came in, examined my head, and it was like, that's when I got diagnosed with alopecia areata.
Okay.
So she was dealing with all the emotions of me losing my hair.
Yeah.
And then I didn't experience my first realization that I had it until I was in first and second grade, when I was being picked on about it.
Wow.
And at the time, that's when my mom was sending the letters. And then when I was being picked on, they came up to the school to, just let them know that that's not okay. Like, I'm still young, so try just protecting me and making sure that I'm okay, because I'm already comfortable with myself because of my family.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it really is a process. And then, I don't know, I've just always, alopecia it's a weird thing.
Yes, it is.
And especially with me having it at such a young age, I feel like that's, just having my family there is really what uplifted me. Because, yeah, I don't know.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. And is there anything that you deal with additionally with Areata? Any sensations or anything like that you deal with at all? Okay.
No.
That's
good. Just like when I did have my hair, it was just the splotches.
Mm-hmm.
And then now they grow back in the same places. Right. But no new hair grows anywhere else. Like, it's just the same hair that I cut off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, when I was, I'm not sure how old I was. I may have been 8 or so. But we did go see a trichologist, which is basically a hair specialist. Mm-hmm. And they had examined my hair follicles, and they were all dead. So it was like there was no chance that hair could grow back.
Right.
And also when I was before my hair fell out, I was on a medication for my asthma. Mm-hmm. So that may have triggered my alopecia, but that wasn't, definite. Okay. Nobody confirmed that that's what happened. Okay. But I was still developing at that age, so it very well could have, because we searched it up and it was like certain medications can trigger alopecia. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So with me still developing and taking those treatments, it could have triggered my hair loss, but we don't know for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Like I said, it's definitely been a journey, but how I am now, I'm kind of obsessed with myself. Like my beauty regimen, my family will tell you, like, that girl be in that bathroom for hours and hours, and I'm kind of glad that I'm born in a way, because I'm able to do my regimen and then not have to worry about that.
Yeah, true. True.
It has its perks.
Yes, it does.
Being bald has its perks.
Yes, it does. It does. Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, and to start at 2.5, that's wow. Mm-hmm. Well, you've come through it fine, that's for sure. And your mom she's amazing. She really is. She's
my rock. Like, she's my entire, I love her. Yes. That's my girl.
Great. And remember too, Mother's Day is coming up.
It sure is.
All right.
Yep, her, my grandmother, my aunt, yep.
Yeah.
I also want to shout out Miss Tashi. She's a part of an organization I've been with since I was 8, the Beautiful Kids organization. They talk about alopecia. They just spread awareness.
Really?
So yeah, I want to shout her out because she's been there since I was young up until now. So I love her too.
Great.
I feel like the main thing that really helps you when you have hair loss is having support around you.
Oh yeah.
So you really just have to, even if it doesn't come naturally, going out there and finding those people who accept you for who you are plays a big part.
Yes.
In you embracing yourself.
Mm-hmm. Very good. And that's good advice too for other young girls, to know that they're not alone.
Yep. Because there's people out there.
Yes. A lot more than I even knew. You know. So, and it's a great thing. It is. Yep. So, again, thank you. I enjoyed talking to you. Really, your smile is just contagious, and I'm just so happy to see that everything turned out so well for you, and modeling from that. That's a good thing.
I know. I surprised myself with that. Like, just trying to figure out what I was gonna do, and I'm obsessed with beauty things, and I love the spotlight and being behind the scenes on sets. I was like, let's try modeling.
So who knows where you'll be in another 5 years. Well, very good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you again for your time. I so appreciate you coming here. Okay?
Yep.
And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
All right. Take care of yourself. And that was another interview with the Miss Beautiful Arielle Carr, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.